In this video, we are going to be talking about 5 must-have Nintendo DS games. Like, DS games are really awesome. Nintendo DS system is a system that is a great system. Now, you don't have some cool things like 3D or something like that. However, you still have a bunch of great games on the system. And in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 must-haves, which means there are a ton more, and I know that I'm gonna miss some, and some people may question some of the ones that I have here. I'm not saying these are the top 5 of the system. I'm saying these are 5 that you must have if you own the system. So I wanted to preface that because some people will get on their keyboards and be like, no, don't, you need this one, you need this one, you missed out about this one doesn't need to be on the list. So I wanted to let you guys know about some good games that maybe you don't know about, but honestly you probably should know about them if you own a DS. And even if you don't own a DS and you have a 3DS, this is a perfect list for you because you can go out and get these games and play them on your 3DS, which is a whole new level and is a game changer because not only do you have one library, you have 2. So when I talk about this, I want you to know that this is based on the DS only when I say 5 must-haves. However, these will play on the 3DS, so if you have one of those, that's very good for you. So let's just hop into it and talk about the first one, which is GoldenEye 007. If you ever owned a Nintendo 64, you probably played GoldenEye 007, which is great. It is a great shooter that came to the platform that was very awesome, and you have this kind of great ability, kind of your first more in-depth than maybe like Doom or Wolfenstein of a first-person shooter. Like, this is where it is at. Now, I know there are a bunch on the 64 that were like it, and some were good, like I'm thinking Winback, I'm thinking Perfect Dark, but I think GoldenEye holds that special place in everyone's mind. But also, this is kind of loosely based on a movie, so it's kind of interesting to see a game adaptation from a movie that's actually good, because we don't see many of those. But I want to say that this is a great game and a must-have because it's a fun game to play. And if you don't have a 64 or you want to play this on the go, the DS is definitely the place to grab that. Now, these aren't in any particular order, and honestly these are all 5 great games, so don't be like, oh well, you put this at 4, because that's not how it works. It's just kind of, they're all stacked in there, and I'm going to talk to you about each one, and they're all great games. So number 2, or the next one on the list I guess, is Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, which, if you know anything about this, the DS is where you get a bunch of these good kind of 2D slash 3D looking models, but they're still in 2D, but these games are really great. All of the Super Mario games are fun and enjoyable. You basically have this one all the way up to the Wii U, and they're all relatively close to being the same, but they're still all fun and great. However, I feel like this one is a good must-have for the system because it's relatively cheap and it is such a fun game. And if you haven't played a Mario game, I'm sorry, but you probably know what this is if you have played a Mario game. But just think of the old-timey games with better graphics and better gameplay. Other than that, it's kind of hard to explain. It's pretty straightforward and a lot of fun, so I think if you've got a DS, you definitely have to pick this bad boy up. The next one is a bit of, maybe some people won't agree with me, but Zelda: The Phantom Hourglass. This is such a fun game, and I remember picking this up. I never had it whenever the DS came out. I bought this about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and I saw it, and I want to say I paid 10 bucks for it, which was good for back then, which is still probably good for now. However, this is a great game. If you like Zelda games, this is a cool one with kind of a twist because you've got the touchpad and all that. And so, if you like Zelda games, I think you definitely need to try this out. However, some people were like, oh, I didn't like it, but I actually quite enjoyed it. And the graphic style is kind of that of Wind Waker. So if you like Wind Waker because of the graphics, I think you'll probably like this. Think of this as like maybe a simpler or maybe not as good looking Wind Waker, because honestly, this is a cool game and it just comes to the system and is very great and works well on the system. And the next two are probably going to be obvious ones to you, but I still wanted to talk about them because they are very great. And I posted this game on my Instagram here this week, and that is Pokemon Soul Silver. If you don't know, Soul Silver and Heart Gold are remakes of Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. However, they came with like a Pokemon walker. I don't have one for some reason. I thought I used to, but maybe I lost it or something. It doesn't matter. But with that, you could put a Pokemon on there and put it in your pocket or in your pants pocket and walk around with it, and you would level it up, which is kind of cool, honestly, because when this came out, it was like, wow, that's kind of a cool draw, because Pokemon at this stage is huge, you know, and they bring this out and people are like, oh, that's so cool, you get to play and walk with it, it's so awesome. But that does not take away from Soul Silver. Now, I will state that this is a more expensive game on the system because it is a sought after game. People want this game and Heart Gold because these are a ton of fun, and honestly, they are a better way to play the old Gold and Silver. So a lot of people who are Pokemon fans have this in their collection. If you don't, you need to go out and get it because it's an awesome game and you will have a lot of fun with it. If you like Pokemon games, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's fun. You just gotta check it out and come ready to play and catch some Pokemon. Now, the last but not least one is a game that I think is very interesting and I think is very awesome. It leads to be one of the better games on the system, and a lot of people played it, and I know they played it because it's none other than Mario Kart DS. If you like Mario Kart, this is an awesome way to play it, because if you have a bunch of friends with DSs around you, you can race them and have a ton of fun. But at the same time, using the dual screens is very awesome because you can look down, see the track, and see things around you, but then you can also look up and watch how things are going. So I like that aspect about this. It is a very cool game, and honestly, this is, to me, kind of coincides with the Wii version. This and that kind of go together, and I feel like those are some of the best ones. Now, I won't say that they're the best one because that's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously, but these are some good games that you definitely need to pick out. If you do not have these, you definitely need to put them up because these are some fun ones. You could sit and play this for hours by yourself or with friends and have a ton of fun. So I would say definitely check this out if you're interested, but at the same time, it's not a console version, so it may be harder to get people to play with you, especially nowadays that the DS is kind of outdated because of the 3DS. But I think you definitely need to think about picking this one up because it is such an awesome game. Now, if you have liked this and thought of any games that I need to put on this list, make sure you comment down below and let me know, because I love the DS. I don't have too many DS games. Most of them are games that I want and I pick them up on purpose. There weren't any like extra random ones. However, I'll pick them up if they look fun and I will play them. There are a ton of games that I honestly would probably pick up for the DS that I just haven't found or something like that, or haven't got a good deal. So with that being said, I want to say Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos. But with that being said, make sure you have a good day.